my theme of this pop-up was there's a lot of confusion out there, and I get this from my clients and from just friends and out in the community. They're asking me, what do I look for on a label? How do I even know what's healthy? Because it's marketed as healthy, but is it really healthy? So that's what we're going to talk about today. I don't have any slides because it's just kind of impromptu. Wanted to have a conversation with everyone. I do have three topics that I'm going to talk about because, I have 20 years experience as a dietitian. I've worked in the hospital system. I'm tired of it being quiet. My goal is to help people live healthfully and not be in a sick system, not be in a nursing home, which I worked into, and having to sit on dialysis because the diabetes got out of control. Can we be more informed? And you don't have to be perfect. That's the other thing I wanted to mention is that this isn't about being perfection or being a hermit and not enjoying life. It's just how can we make small incremental changes to help prevent or decrease the risk of chronic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, heart disease, kidney disease, cancers. Gut issues is really a huge because of what's in our food system too. So even our skin is affected by what we eat in our environment. So that is my main goal is that I want to see you all thrive, Janet and Daryl and Dr. Right Life. I want to see you thrive and not be in a nursing home and live to your fullest best life. So that's my goal. And people around you too. I want to see generations be healthy. So, how to determine what are the hidden ingredients, i.e., different names for the same ingredient. Okay. So that is a good one because it is they know how to market and they know how to change things. So if you can't tell, I am a person that is how do I say this? Is questions everything. Yeah. Because it is a business, of course. Big food, big pharma business. So, your education informed. Yes, informed. Making informed decisions. So that was my goal is in this and is just giving you information. So you can take it. And I do have examples here too. I just went to the grocery store, so I have a little story to tell you about that because even I am surprised by the ingredients in some things. So, three ingredients that we're going to talk about today. Number one is the erythritol. So, has anyone heard of erythritol? The sugar alcohol starts with an E. I'll put it in here. And excuse me for my spelling because I'm not a very good speller. Sorry. If anyone else is not a very good speller, please have some grace. That is the semi-spelling of it. That gives you the general idea. You see the TOL at the end, that it means it is a sugar alcohol. And it is an additive to the food that the food companies put in there that is sweet without adding any extra calories. Has anyone ever heard of this ingredient or ever looked for it on the label? Because you can find it in a lot of items. Surprising too. Surprising items. It is found in even your healthy items. So like your health aid, it's a kombucha tea. You'll find it in there. You'll find it in protein powders. You'll find it in chocolate. So it'll be like the sugar-free and no sugar added chocolate. They'll say that on the front of the label. And then on the ingredients, you'll look at it. And yes, there's no sugar, but then there's erythritol in the ingredients. So not just only looking at on the nutrition facts, it will be in the ingredients. So yeah, so it is marketed as a sugar alcohol that doesn't add calories, but it gives sweetness to things. So it can be in your health drinks, it can be in your protein powders, it can be in your diet items for sure, like ice creams and things like that. I found it in a lot of those items where they want to decrease the sugar. So because you're looking at, most people are looking at that part, but they're not looking at the ingredients. So that one specifically, erythritol, is associated with blood clots. The first one that was studied was Red Bull. Red Bull has erythritol, and it was studied that erythritol causes blood clots. And then what do blood clots do? Strokes can lead to strokes. So that is the reason for staying away from that one and knowing that on the ingredients. Has that either anyone else heard of that ingredient, ever looked for that ingredient on the label, on the ingredients, I should say, because there's, in school as dietitians, we were taught nutrition facts. You look at that, and then there's the ingredients underneath. So what I mean by the label, I mean the ingredients. All of those names of items that are in the food. And then maybe some of you have some education on this and you know what I mean by that, but some people don't. I'm just giving you everything. So there you go. What about, I'm looking at this. So we were talking about erythritol. Now I'm going to talk about no added sugars. So no added sugars. This is a protein bar that I have found that has 1 gram of added sugars. The other brand of this, the RX bar, the almond vanilla, has 0 added sugars. So it's just dates, egg whites, nuts. Those are basically what we want to do when we're reading the labels. We want to look at the very limited ingredients, very specific. Can you pronounce it? So, this one has apples, dates, peanuts, egg whites, honey, sea salt. So these are real ingredients that are found in nature, and that's why we want to look at that. And then the other thing is looking at the added sugars. So there's one on here. Some items you will find like in flavored yogurts, you'll find, the ice creams, you'll see added sugars there. And that has been a new part of the nutrition facts since 2021, that it has to be on the food label. It wasn't on there before, but now that there has to be on there. So that is something that I've looked at very closely recently, over the last couple of years, especially because added sugars, just by eating them, are causing the weight gain and insulin resistance. So we're trying to limit those added sugars and finding foods that are real whole ingredients. The least amount of ingredients on the package, the better. If you can pronounce it, better. If it looks like a chemical, it probably is. So we want to stay away from those things. We want to get to eating real food. That's the key. Real food. You can probably, I could make these bars at home, very somewhat easily. Give it a recipe there. That would be the best option. I'm not going to say that people can't buy some convenience things, but when we're looking at the convenience things, we want to find the products that are the least worst of all of them, is basically what I want to say. So that is key. Any questions? Put them in the chat. Raise your virtual hand. I would love to know if you have any questions about sugars, no sugar added, all of that on the label. We'll go to number 3. Number 3 is palm oil. So seed oils can become inflammatory in our body when they are eaten because of the way they're processed. So seed oils, the one I'm going to talk about right now is palm oil, that can be found in foods. These seed oils they can become inflammatory because of the oxidative process of sitting on a shelf. They can become, or they sit in a clear plastic bottle, and then the lights of the grocery store oxidate the oils, and then we eat it, and then it becomes inflammatory. So we want to stay away from those because of the omega-6 ratio, and we want more omega-3s. The other reason is that sometimes in manufacturing there could be additives. The cleaning process of the oils become oxidative. So we want to make sure that we're staying away from those. And one that I wanted to mention tonight is palm oil. That is a seed oil, and it is a form of saturated fat. And You'll find it in even all natural items. So being aware of the front of the label packaging where it's the marketing to us. So being aware of the marketing. So it'll say natural, um, no sugar added, all of these things where on the back of it, it'll tell you the ingredients and what's in there. So I found it in all natural peanut butter and all natural almond butter. Said natural, almost fooled me, but they have to flip the bottle around and it'll tell you there's palm oil in there. So if you're going to eat peanut butter or almond butter, any of those butters that have some healthy fats in them and some protein to it, getting those that have just the nuts and some salt. If you don't want the salt, you don't have to get the salt one either, but it's as long as it doesn't have that palm oil in it. That would be the one seed oil that I would look out for, and it'll say that on the ingredients. Palm oil or palm kernel oil is the other way version. I have this item here in front of me that I'm going to share as well, but I want to see if anyone has any questions, any comments. That's the whole idea of this pop-up. Good. You checked your almond butter. Very good. Dry roasted almonds. Very, very good. That's exactly what you want. Um, yeah, that's good because I did, Whole Foods of all places. That's where I found the all natural peanut butter that had the palm oil in it. Or excuse me, almond oil. Almond butter that had palm oil in it. Mouthful. Whole Foods of all places. So even healthy grocery stores, they can still have it, right? Correct. Yes. Canola oil is a seed oil as well because of the way it's manufactured. And then canola oil is packaged in a clear plastic bottle. And it gets oxidized with the lights and it sits on the shelf. So then when we eat it and heat it, it is a no-no. That is correct. Yeah. And companies, I will give you one other tip for that. Companies get around. It used to be that if anyone has heard of trans fats, we were always where we were focused on telling people trans fats, stay away from trans fats. Those are unhealthy for us, and they were in a lot of foods. Guess what? They're still in a lot of foods. They just don't say the number on there because it's always going to be zero on the ingredients, like this package. I don't know if you can see it, but on this package, the trans fats is always zero. It's always going to be zero because companies need to stay under a certain limit because the government told food companies they needed to regulate it because it's causing harmful effects in our health and stuff. So they have to stay under the certain limit, but they can still use it and say zero on that nutrition facts. So the key is looking at those ingredients and they're getting around it now. Instead of saying partially hydrogenated oil, they're saying canola oil, palm oil, safflower oil. So they're just telling soybean is another one, soybean oil, which is canola oil. So they're just telling you the oil. So if you weren't aware, then you may not realize that it is a trans fat that they're putting in their food. So definitely looking for any of those names of oils in your food, olive oil, that's olive oil. But any of those seed oils is going to be part of those trans fats. Definitely looking at that. I really, really want to emphasize that they're changing the way it's stated. That way, partially hydrogenated. I don't see that name, that wording as much anymore. I just see the name of the oil. So definitely looking at that. And yes, you are right about the canola oil. And again, it's information so you can go out there into the grocery stores and be prepared for the landmine that is out there in the food system. So, because it's all, all of this marketing about protein and protein popcorn and it's just what do I do is really the question. How do I know what's right? So, that's my job is to give you what is right. Okay, good. It's making you feel like you're on the right track. Janet, I'm glad. Good. Yes, that is. That you always want to feel like you're on the right track, right? Because then making health improvements and is a good thing. So we want to do that. Does anyone else have any? My real food reset um, program. It is an educational module system where you get to work at your own pace. You are learning about all of these great ingredients that we should and should not have in our bodies. Learning about the nutrition facts, and you get recipes, and you get 12 modules that you can do on your own time. And it is 197. And the bonus dun, 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 dun. The bonus is that you get a live session with me where you can cook with me. We will have it'll be an event. It'll be a fun event where we get a group of people together and you get this ticket comes with a freebie ticket, bring a friend. So you get the 12 modules plus the live event plus a bring a friend all for 197 because I am here to help you. And when you have that one-on-one time with me, cooking with me answering your specific questions, it is so crucial to sticking with health and sticking with your goals and sticking with a plan that works for you. So I am going to put the link in the chat really quickly, just so you have that information. And again, it is a complete system where it's all done for you. So you don't done with, it's not a done with you, it's a done for you. So you get those modules on, you do it on your own time. You can listen if you're not really a reader. You can listen to the modules and it has PDF handouts. So you get all of that great information and then you get the bonus of having me in person. You can learn on demand from me in person and bring a friend along with you because who doesn't want the support and who doesn't want to do it with somebody else, right? And staying on track because we're almost to May and pretty soon we're going to be halfway through the year and thinking about have you met your health goals? Are you going towards your health goals? Is there anything holding you back? That event experience with me can help you. We can sit down together and we can map out a plan for the rest of the year. That's the goal. I want you to be, that's my gift for you for being here because you are amazing. You're set aside your time today to listen to me and learn this information. And I hope that it was beneficial. Janet and everyone, Daryl, Dr. Right Life, everyone, thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time. Do we have any other questions? Before we go. I'm giving you time to type because we're a typing group. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here. Take advantage of that if you feel called to do that for yourself or for any of your family members or anyone that you know. It is a great resource, and I am here to help.